Welcome to Questionable Fandom with Alex and Casey. I'm Alex.
And I'm Casey.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, back this week. Had to take a sabbatical last week.
Gotta do the job.
Yeah, well.
Pay the bills.
Yeah, life got in the way, but it's fine. We'll just have a double. Pretty much 2 weeks this week.
Yeah, because I did kind of skip over like half of what I had been doing last week because you were involved. It's like, well, Casey's going to talk about it when he gets back, so why waste the time?
Yeah, that's fair. This one might go longer than normal.
Yeah,
but
a little bit of show news. We're on iHeartRadio now. Like
Cool.
I got emailed last week.
Cool.
Like right after I recorded, I get the emails like, "Where were you 30 minutes ago?"
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Talk about you then, and then we're actually doing the Pokemon Adventure segment this time.
Yes, we're like, we'll do this segment. Didn't do it. I missed
Yeah.
a week, and then we're back. We'll do it this week now. Actually,
Yeah, we actually read them.
went through the trouble of reading and then taking notes.
Yeah, even though when I was reading it, I think I took like a 10-minute nap because I was just tired.
It doesn't drag.
No,
But-
it wasn't the story. It
Yeah.
was I was just so tired
Yeah, it's fine.
because I was sleeping like 3 hours every night last week
Oh man.
because I'm not used to having to wake up again.
Yeah. Well, what'd you do this week? What you been playing?
Oh, still playing GTA Online, which
Yep.
the first half of the week was blah, whatever. Every Thursday they come up with new specials of the week.
Interesting.
Like, different stuff comes on sale, different bonuses with double the payout and everything.
Gotcha. When I was playing, they had like no schedule.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think they did. We just didn't pay attention.
Fair.
But it's been double pay on motorcycle club businesses.
I should be playing then.
Yeah, I've been making bank this week. Because I'll get on, I'll spend like 5 or 6 mil and stuff. By the time I log off, I'm almost back to where I was.
Jesus.
So I've been enjoying that. I also, Rockstar apparently teamed up with Twitch.
Weird.
And, Twitch Prime, I don't know how much you know about it.
Not much.
Is every month, as long as you have Amazon Prime, it's part of Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I need to sign up since I have Amazon Prime.
You really do, because you'll get like 4 or 5 free games every month. And they vary on the quality of the games. If I had the Twitch app on one of these computers, I could show you.
Gotcha.
But some pretty good games on there. But sometimes they'll do like exclusive skins, loot boxes, and various stuff for games.
Interesting.
Like they've been doing the StarCraft one where you've been getting a co-op commander, which is like a $4.99 DLC.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, some pretty good benefits. And now Rockstar's going on that bandwagon.
nice.
For GTA players, they gave $1.25 million.
Cool.
Sizable chunk of change.
Yes.
And on Red Dead Online, they did like $300, like 100 gold. I haven't really played it online, so I don't know what that.
Yeah, I still need that game to come out on PC.
Yeah,
I'll actually play it.
Yeah, I got it on the Xbox. I just haven't really played it. My sound system went out, so I need to on my TV
Yeah.
in my living room.
That sucks.
So I don't have surround sound, but I got to unhook everything from it to hook it up to the TV so I can
I got you.
use it all again.
Yeah, I don't play anything on console anymore. So
Yeah, I don't play enough
I'm at
to
the
worry
I'm
about
at the
it.
mercy of whenever they want to put that on PC. I'm sure in like another year.
Well, they gotta make sure they get all the sales.
I know they want to essentially double. They want everyone to buy it that's gonna buy it, everyone to
console.
play it that's
Yeah.
gonna play it, and then have everyone buy it again.
Or half the people buy it.
Yeah, I
that
mean whatever
want to play it
whatever
on
segment it
PC.
is.
Didn't talk about the Edge of Empire game.
Yeah, I didn't figure you had. I'd put mine down here. We didn't play this week. We played last week, but I wasn't here, so we didn't talk
Right.
about it. Yeah, still, it's a very fun game. If no one plays the Star Wars role-playing game, it's super fun. Like, I dig it. Every time we play it, everybody tells me they like it more than they liked it the last time we
Yeah.
played it. Like,
I mean, that's
just-
part of just since we're all basically a new group. It's just getting the feel of everyone. I mean, you're fairly new to DMing. I've never played with any of them really.
Yeah, that's true.
Beyond like my roommate.
Yeah.
Played with him, and actually Robert. I think I've played with him, but
Yeah, I mean, it's...
the game that was from, I left early, and some people came late.
Gotcha.
Because they would start at like 6 o'clock and end at like 3 in the morning. They did like a marathon session every week.
Yeah, we don't do that.
So
We actually have pretty short sessions from
Yeah.
other stuff I've played.
it actually wasn't, that campaign wasn't uncommon for me to come in. It's like, oh yeah, your character died last week. It's like, okay, cool. I guess I'll make a new one.
Yeah, yeah. We don't usually get started till like 7 or after
Yeah.
7, and
We're generally done by 10.
yeah,
And there's a lot of just BS happening.
yeah. A lot happens, but it doesn't like take forever.
Yeah.
It's pretty streamlined.
But we got off the world.
Yes, got off a desert or a deserted planet, not a
Yeah.
desert planet, a jungle planet.
Was it really deserted?
I mean,
We never saw anyone.
that's fair. I mean, you never saw that many people. Stole a ship from some pirates, sold their ship, got a lot of money, lost effectively almost all that money.
Well, we accomplished some stuff.
Yes, accomplished all kinds of stuff. It's actually, yeah, I mean, it's going really well.
Yeah, I rescued like half a dozen more pirates.
These
I just-
NPC pirate crew.
I just couldn't keep them, so I had to put them down.
Yeah, I love that you got these guys back to civilization and they just held their hands out for money and you're like, scram, get out of
So,
here.
like, shoo,
Shoo.
or the big lizard's gonna eat you. Get
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yes, you do have to. Yeah, it's still a big crew. It's still like a
Yeah.
crew of 7, 8 people with the NPCs. It's a lot of people. There are a lot of people in this universe, though. Jeez, you die.
It gives more depth to stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
opposed to having NPCs with the group.
yeah, me either. No, it's a good system. Like it holds up to a lot of different stuff, and I don't feel like any players are like left out. Really,
Yeah.
really. I mean, not many anyway.
Nah, we all have our chance to shine.
Yeah.
Especially the doctor.
God, yeah, the Doctor. It's still great. We did like 4 sessions. Doctor was effectively useless. The next 4 or 5, Doctor was the most important character. The All-Star. Everyone would be dead without the Doctor.
I think I might have survived
Still.
up until the last combat.
Still, you would have died in that last combat,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, no, Doctors are great. Doctors are good, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy.
There's a I can't even remember. I'll look it up later. Maybe I'll mention it next week. There's a stand-up comic bit about Christian Science and like you guys need to go to doctors because doctors have all those degrees. Like
Yeah.
they spend all that time. They want to help you. But I can't remember the guy's name.
And then last night we played Outer Rim again.
Yeah, the new board game from Fantasy Flight. We played again. Played with a different person, and we played with an AI character.
And mostly different characters.
And mostly different characters. So it was and we did played out different. I mean,
Yeah,
played
it was
almost completely different.
game.
Yeah. The first game we played, we had like did all the bounties. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like almost all the NPCs were dead or we captured a crew.
More or less, yeah.
And this one, half maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, we did like all the jobs.
Yeah.
There was like no bounty hunting
I
going
mean, I
on.
was playing Lando. I was worrying about trying to find like illegal cargo and doing that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of bounty hunting.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting.
Definitely
Kind
different.
of shows that the game got some replayability on it.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing or playing.
Yeah, well, we both played the Transformers TCG release last week. I don't know if you mentioned it or not
I
last week.
mentioned it.
Okay.
You mean you don't listen to our episodes?
I didn't listen to that one. It doesn't have me in it.
Wow.
Anyway, I built some new Transformers decks this week with the new cards. I haven't got to really play them except with myself, but
I
I'm
need to do
excited.
something along with them.
Yeah, I like that they don't. I didn't when I went back with my old decks. I didn't put a lot of new cards in them. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't like a whole lot that was any better or worse than what I already had. Just different.
Right.
So like the new decks that I made were like new,
Yeah.
and the old decks I made were essentially the same, save for a couple of maybe rares.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way it was with Wave 2. There was like, oh, hey, this would be good in my Dinobots.
Yeah,
So let's go throw it in my Dinobots, and that's about all I changed.
yeah.
And that Dinobots team is still competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
somebody
If you had
used it.
only bought set 1, like you could still play. Absolutely, you can
Alright.
still play. You cannot say that about other card games.
Because actually, I think when we did constructed tournament for Wave 2, I brought my
you
Dinobots.
Did all wave 1.
Yeah, and I did fair.
Then they did a new Magic set release this week, the week after the M20 set. So I've been playing with some of that on the Magic Arena. It's fun. I mean, every Magic set's fine these days. Nothing. It's a core set, so there's nothing like crazy, spectacular,
Yeah,
new
it's
strategy.
French vanilla is what they call them.
Yeah, but it's been. It got me to play more this week than I had been in previous weeks or months.
Yeah, I think their goal.
And they have so many generic cards that come out in these core sets that I have the luxury of building like some pretty janky decks.
Right.
In the interim, in September, though, half of the standard is rotating out. They're going from 8 back to down to 4.
Okay.
But it'll be 5 because of the new set that comes in September. So
Have they
Right.
said what's coming next?
it's completely unannounced, just as release
That
date.
is crazy.
I know. It even says it in Magic Arena. It's like if you build a deck with the cards that are going to be rotating, it gives you a notification that says, like if you craft any cards, you know,
Right.
like the wild cards, it like gives you a notification that says, "Hey, this is not going to be legal come September," and it's July, so
Right.
Are you sure you want to use these wild cards? I'm like, yes, let me play my jank. And but it's like it's gonna, like it won't be legal in the upcoming unannounced standard rotation. It's like, what? It's freaking like 10 weeks away. Come on.
That is so crazy. They're gonna have to spoil it here.
At least the name.
Like, I mean, because they'll do what, like 4 weeks of spoilers before it comes out.
Yeah.
Because I know the week before pre-release.
The week before pre-release. So they have to start like 6 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
But it's in like 10 weeks. Like, you gotta release the name of the thing.
You would think they would, but I'm kind of enjoying that they're not.
Yeah, well, the Sim 20 set came out of nowhere too, because they put all their hype on the Modern Horizons.
Right.
And then, and that came out like 3 weeks ago or something, right? And like as soon as Modern Horizons drops and they do a weekend of that, they're like, oh yeah, there's a new core set. It's gonna be out in like 2 weeks.
The core was coming,
but they hadn't like hyped it at all,
right? Well, they really don't need to.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Wizards put the hype where it needed to be, because no one was gonna. If they didn't hype up Modern Horizons, it wouldn't have sold that much. That's true.
Did you watch anything this week? We've been watching nothing lately.
I actually haven't really watched that much YouTube or Twitch this week.
Yeah. Oh, I had a slow week myself.
Because normally I'll turn on a live stream and watch it while I'm playing GTA. This week I started up, get like 2 minutes into it. It's like, screw this, and close the live stream.
Yeah. I worked a lot this week, to be honest with you.
I put in a full week.
I didn't put in a full week. I had the holiday.
Well, I had the holiday.
Yeah.
But.
I watched Jessica Jones season 3. I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm 1 or 1.5 episodes done. I fell asleep while watching it. Right. But I've watched almost all of it up to maybe the finale, so I got a good idea for all the story and the as it goes on. But it's pretty good. Like I know that they said they didn't want to come back and do any more seasons of it,
right?
Even if they had the opportunity. And for some of the characters, I get it. They like very much knew it was gonna be their last season, so they just pushed some of these characters like really, really hard. Hogarth, the lawyer that jumps from series to series, she gets like a super big spotlight, bigger than she's gotten in any of the other shows.
Well, I mean, that is kind of shows she was the biggest in. So
yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, but this season even more than before. Like she gets her own arc.
They need to catch up on those shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I enjoyed them.
I like it better than season 2, and nothing is as good as season 1.
I don't know why I've dragged my feet on watching them.
Like I told you this earlier. The only bad thing about the Jessica Jones is like that. They tried to do a lot of action scenes with one of the characters, and whenever you see the action like from Punisher and from Daredevil, the Jessica Jones action scenes just don't hold up. No, they don't. Not even in the same realm. They don't hold up at all.
So, about as far as read the Pokemon Adventure, the 5 chapters there.
It felt like it was more than 5 chapters.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been reading. I mean, read like news articles here and there, stuff like that.
So I read that. I read the same Pokemon Adventure chapters. I did all kinds of Star Wars lore for an upcoming Edge of the Empire arc we'll be doing. Just different stuff, like I had to delve into some stuff from Rebels that I did not know, because I always tried to actively avoid any spoilers, because I'm like, eventually I'll watch this show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get around to it.
It's just
when it comes out to Disney now.
And it's like another year away,
Yeah.
It's like, the show's like 4 years old, and I'm like reading through some of this stuff, and it's just getting to the spoiler, and I'm just at the point where I don't care, but I'm reading it, I'm like, this stuff looks good. I want to go watch the show. At least some of it, like some of the characters. And some of it had nothing to do with the Edge of the Empire, you just get off in a wiki hole.
You go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, like I got into like Darth Maul's page, and he has nothing to do with Edge of the Empire. You won't see Darth Maul, right? And
Thank God.
But like I'm reading through Darth Maul, and they go through all this. They go through like
if I saw him, I would turn around and just go nope. They
go through all the stuff he did in Rebels, and like some of the comics they did for between Rebels and Clone Wars.
Using him.
Yeah, he did like a whole thing with Dooku where they were working together. He did the whole thing with all these freaking people.
Which actually, that's like the one story from Dark Horse that they kept.
The Dooku thing. The
Maul coming, or how he came back.
Yeah,
that's like the only scene from Dark Horse that they kept from the comics. Everything else was like garbage. Throw it out. But we're keeping this.
Yeah, he did all kinds of stuff. I've been reading, at least the past couple of days, a fan manga called Dragon Ball Zeroverse, not Xenoverse, which is hilarious because it predates Xenoverse by years.
Coincidence, probably.
It is coincidence, I'm sure. It's called Zeroverse. And I'll probably talk about it more next time because I'm up through, there's 105 chapters and I'm at like chapter 21 or something. So I'm like a fifth of the way through and nothing's happened.
That sounds about right.
It's the exact same thing as the Majin Buu arc from Dragon Ball Z, even though it takes place afterwards, like right afterwards, like 3 years afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, let's all go to a tournament and the only thing that's different is one of the competitors is Oob, the reincarnation of Kid Buu.
Okay.
Who's supposed to be good. And then like Babidi is back, who was the same guy that made Majin Buu in that arc, and he just turns Oob bad.
Okay.
And they have like a new master or something. But it's like, it all played out the first 20 chapters like almost the same. Like, we're going to do a tournament arc, nobody's going to be serious, and good people get turned bad by Babidi. Like the same exact character. Jesus.
Awesome.
Alright. But yeah, hopefully it gets better. And I've already started it, so I can't stop. And The Walking Dead 193. I actually don't even read this comic. I know you've actually read way more than I have.
I read the first 100 issues, which is funny because I know a lot of people stopped at 100 because they killed a character everyone loved.
Yeah, I think you just got lazy.
I stopped reading it because one of the characters in that issue is like, yeah, the zombies aren't an issue anymore. They're just a natural disaster.
Yeah.
It's like rain or a thunderstorm. It's like, they're right. Why am I reading this?
Yeah, that's not a zombie book. So I did read 193 this week before it came out, actually. And I know, like, whatever. I did read it Tuesday night, I think. And it's okay. Like, it's totally fun.
Yeah.
I don't read all the book, though. Like, I only know, like, stuff just because I know a lot of people who do read the book. And I did watch the show at one point.
Yeah, I've been collecting the hard trades.
Yeah.
Hardback trades, so I'll probably get the last one here in a few months and may actually finish reading it.
I think it was on its last leg anyway. I'm glad it's done. But I do find 193, like, just such an awkward number. I thought they could have just toiled it out to, like, 200.
I mean, to be fair, Kurtman stayed true what he said and all the way back in the original one that it was Rick Grimes' story.
Yeah, Rick dies in 192, spoilers.
Yeah.
And then 193 is like an 80 or 100 page special, and it's done. Like it time skips like 10 or 15 years, and it's very cool actually. Like, even though I'm not like the hugest fan of that franchise, the time skip is cool because it skips like 15 years in the future, and Carl is
it just kind of says where everyone is.
Yeah, Carl's like the lead, sort of pseudo leader of this place. Michonne's like a judge.
Right.
And they're like out on the outskirts of civilization, and it's drawn and framed exactly like the Old West. Like, they're rebuilding society from the ground up again. They're working on a railroad. They're using steam and being self-sufficient.
That's cool.
And then, you know, just
I mean, that's kind of how those kind of stories have to go.
Yeah. And then, like,
it's that or everyone dies.
Yeah. And, like, you just get, and, like, you know, Carl has his own daughter. It goes on, and then, like, you just turn the end, and it just goes, the end. You're like, okay, and then it goes to the letters page, you know, with Kirkman.
Right.
And, like, he just writes, yep, that's it, we're done. And then, you know, he goes into, like, some explanations, but...
I did like that they were soliciting future issues.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
They're like, yeah, it's going to keep going, it's going to keep going, and then, oh, nope, we lied.
They also did that in the back. They put all this art, they credited and did all the solicited art. They just put it in the back of that last issue, so it's not lost art or anything.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it's after the letters page. Like, yeah, here's like 6 pieces of art we commissioned. They're useless. We're not using them for anything. They don't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, nothing bad about that.
No, it's funny. I give them credit. Okay. Well, we can get into the Pokemon now.
Yep.
We read chapters 9 through 14 if you want to read them. They're good, actually.
Yeah.
14 issues.
I've been enjoying this.
Yeah, it's 14
series.
issues, the 14 chapters in the first volume. We finished the first book.
Yeah, which actually I think I finished it all because I was reading it as like, I remember this. So I guess I actually did finish reading.
Yeah.
The first book way back in the day when I got them.
Yeah, and this is after he fights Team Rocket with Misty, and he's out back on his own. Yeah, so he's back on his own. I didn't break it down by chapter, but I just kind of took notes here on like the highlights of what they hit from the lore in these chapters. I think it
pretty much is a chapter breakdown.
Pretty much. I mean, I just flipped through and picked out things that were thing. So I know Chapter 9 is he's like walking around and he has way too many Pokeballs because he caught a bunch of Pokemon and
there's no way to transport them.
Yeah, so he just by coincidence runs into Bill.
Right. It was working on coincidence.
A Pokemon teleporter, right? Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing special about it.
But I mean, it kind of follows the game there where Bill put himself into a Rattata.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice that Red has to go save Bill from a Pharaoh, yeah. And Bill's freaking out. It's like, hey, don't shoot it down while it's in the air carrying me.
Yeah,
don't hurt me.
He uses his Bulbasaur when it doesn't work, so he ends up using his Pikachu to just throw Huckle Thunderbolts at the Pharaoh. And Bill's freaking out, so because he doesn't want to get shocked. And then he catches the Pharaoh, and then he gets with Bill, and he gets to use the teleporter in the PC system now.
Which I do kind of like, because Bill's like, yeah, you can send them wherever you want, wherever Red is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care where you send them, just you can send them away.
Yeah.
And retrieve them.
So then they go, and he keeps going, and he finds the Pokemon fan club. What city is this? Vermilion? I don't remember what city the SSAN is in the Pokemon fan club.
Route 25. For all the help that does.
25.
Vermilion City.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, so he comes to Vermilion City, meets this Pokemon fan club, and they're actually hilarious to me. Like I thought they were super entertaining. They're like dogging them about how cute Pokemon are and whatnot. And
they don't want to involve them because they don't say cute anymore.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, well, Pokemon have been stolen, but like they don't care because they're pacifists. Yeah. And Red's like, oh, I'll go find who stole your Pokemon and beat them up.
Right.
And battle with my Pokemon. I'm gonna become a Pokemon like master with and win the Pokemon League and get all the gems. And they're like,
you battled your Pokemon?
You're a dirty battle Pokemon battler.
It's like, yeah, how do they evolve?
He's like, they don't evolve.
It's like, you don't want to evolve them. They don't say cute.
Yeah. They're only cute when they're small. It was actually hilarious. He like goes off to fight him. He's like, "Hey, can you leave your Pikachu?
Yeah, I want to cuddle with it." The president's like, "Wait, before you go, leave me your Pikachu.
I need to cuddle it." And he's like, he just runs off.
And Pikachu's like, "What the crap, man?
Yeah, no."
And leave me here with these freaks."
It was a good setup though, because he goes to the SSAN. So he had seen the SSAN and kind of figures out that
Which I actually think before he met the fan club, he snuck on and got caught and thrown off.
Yeah. It's just that he pulls a Batman where he's like, oh, the SSN only comes once a month. Your Pokemon only disappear once a month. They didn't want me on that SSN because they're hiding something.
And those boxes are big enough to carry Pokemon.
They must be Pokemon thieves.
Which I actually do kind of like that.
Oh, I thought it was cool, yeah.
Because it was a good use, and they had a good cover. Lieutenant Surge came up to get supplies for Dylan.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Was it Surge? I know Surge was on the boat, but was he the one that came? Or was it a different gym leader?
No, I think it was Surge.
Yeah, I don't know. I could go look at the book, but
I'm pretty sure it was Surge.
I can research.
Yeah, so he gets back on the boat to find the stolen Pokemon, and Lieutenant Surge is our next boss. So they saw Coda back in the Diglett Cave with
Mount Moon.
With Mount Moon with Misty, and then so he meets Lieutenant Surge on the SSAN, and Surge is just a complete bully, just complete total bad guy, no redeeming qualities. Attacks Red with Voltorbs and Electabuzz.
There's like a ton of them.
Yeah, and not like he battled. He didn't battle Red with an Electabuzz and Voltorbs. He attacks just Red with the Electabuzz and Voltorbs. He could not care about his Pokemon any less. He just wants to kill this little kid.
He may have cared about the Pokemon, but he was using them as a weapon.
I just mean, like, he didn't, like, have any... It's not like they're battling because they're enemies like you do in the game. I mean, he just wants to take out this little kid.
Yeah, he's attacking the kid, not his Pokemon.
Yeah, Red's trying to fight him off with this Poliwhirl.
Right.
Yeah, and the electric Pokemon just beat the crap out of him, throw him in the water to kill him while he's sinking down to the bottom. Poliwhirl miraculously evolved.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how the Poliwhirl evolves. I guess it's level... I could have sworn it was an evolution stone.
I don't think it's... whatever, in this manga,
right? It's not
just a high pressure situation. He turns into a Poliwrath,
yeah,
and gets the opposable arms to grab Red and jump out of the water with him.
Which I did look while you were talking about that. It is Surge that owns the boat, but he uses it to quote unquote transport supplies to Cinnabar Island,
but where Blaine is,
right? So that's where it was. Because Surge's gym is in Vermilion in the game.
Yeah, I like it. I don't really even mention the gyms that much.
Well, he's only got into the third gym.
Poliwrath is Waterstone, but
okay,
maybe there's a Waterstone in the...
Sure.
I don't actually know.
But yeah, he beats him up, saves a Pokemon. Poliwrath saves Red. They get back up on the deck, and Poliwrath just kicks their butts.
Gotcha. It says in the wiki that Polly's explanation isn't unveiled until the yellow chapter, where they give you some explanation for it.
Yeah, I saw that the SSN pops up there, so...
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So we're not done with the boat.
Nice.
But yeah, revolves into Poliwrath, hops up on the deck.
Beats face.
Creams them all.
Yeah.
Surge miraculously gets away.
Yeah, gets away in the
But
fight.
everyone else, all of his henchmen get caught and arrested.
Yeah, and then the Pokemon fan club are all about it.
They all get reunited. The president's sad because his Abra evolved.
Yeah, it turns into a Kadabra. And then he's like, he doesn't even want it anymore.
Right.
Same thing, he's like, look at my Poliwrath now. And he's like, stupid evolved.
Right.
Needs to be a Poliwag. Poliwags are cute. Poliwraths are mean. We can love it.
Love it. Yeah. So from there he goes up to the Lavender Town and the Pokemon Tower.
Yeah, we get a stark change in tone.
Right. Because we're introduced some poor guy's mourning the loss of his studio.
I think so.
Yeah.
So whatever happens in Lavender Town, it's like a ghost town, which it was anyway.
Yeah, that's what it was in the game. It was a ghost tower.
Yeah, so he goes into the Pokemon Tower where all the ghost Pokemon are in the game, and they draw it like it's death, like they're in a freaking horror movie.
Right, and even to the point of having zombies.
Yeah, they're all zombies. It also triggered me because you know my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, and like this is their first appearance is Zombie Psyduck and Zombie Slowpoke.
I missed a Slowpoke.
Yeah, and I was like, screw these guys. They look awesome though. But
yeah, I enjoyed them.
And then they're like not real too at the end or whatever.
Right, because
it's a Ghastly.
Was it a Ghastly?
Yeah,
that's what it may have been.
I'm pretty sure there was a Ghastly there.
That's why it was something to do with the venom, but I could be wrong.
It's both.
Yeah,
they're like the Ghastly's like making illusions, and then the zombie thing is an Arbok. They beat the Ghastly easily, and then the venom like takes control of people.
Yeah, because Blue came through town before Red. I went to the tower before Red.
In fact, that's the only reason Red even goes. Is they're like, yeah, Blue's missing. And he's like, well, Blue's a strong dude, so
it's like,
it's probably pretty legit.
Yeah, Blue went into the tower a week ago and hasn't came out. Red's like, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And goes charging off.
But they get away and they have to fight Coda, who he'd seen back at Mount Moon. He says he saw him back at Mount Moon, although when I read it, I didn't think that he had actually seen him.
Yeah.
But he recognizes him from Mount Moon.
Well, actually, Coda recognized Red.
Oh,
because Coda never saw, or they never saw Coda.
Okay.
Because he was flying with a Zubat outside of the tower.
Yeah.
Controlling the Arbok somehow.
I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I like that he was like, since he's like the ninja, he's like way off. He's not actually in the tower with him. He's like way off with either a Zubat or a Golbat.
Yeah, one of those. And he's like, the evolution chain.
Yeah, he's just like hanging by that Pokemon's feet to keep watch on everything while they do their boss fight with the Arbok.
Which you actually see the first actual Pokemon death
on
panel.
Freaking Charmeleon uses the flame at the end of his tail to decapitate this Arbok.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
cool.
Yeah, super cool. That's their, like, I guess they're really big. That and the Lieutenant Surge are like the boss fights. Lieutenant Surge just gets punched by the Poliwrath and Arbok gets decapitated.
Yeah, I've read enough spoilers to know some of the gym leaders are working with Team Rocket, so...
Yeah. Oh, we've seen Coda in the
we've
outfit.
Seen proof.
We haven't seen Surge in the outfit or anything. I guess by this point we only think that Surge is just a bad dude.
Right.
He is affiliated. And that's pretty much where that first chapter, the first volume
ends. Yeah, the first volume.
And then the next volume will introduce Green.
Yeah, because it is spoiled that she pops up. So, something to look forward to.
The continuation of these bad gym leaders, because neither one of them got defeated. Surge and Coda are still
there.
I
kind of hope it Red runs across him in a gym battle. But they still do the gym battles.
You would think he would. There's those two bad guys, and then we'll meet Green at some point.
Yeah.
In the next, I don't know if it'll be the next chapter, but it'll be the next volume.
So then let's move on to news. Which we have Walking Dead down here, but we've talked about it.
Yeah, the only thing is that AMC said the show is going to keep going.
Right.
Or the show's universe, air quotes, is going to keep going for many years.
It makes me think that the main show's going to end soon. But
yeah, it's like AMC, we already knew that. Like, we already know you're going to bleed it for every dollar it's worth.
I mean, that's one of those shows. That's kind of one of those universes. There's so much potential there. Like how they handled the zombie outbreak in the Southeast, where the main series is. It's going to be different than the West Coast, where Fear the Walking Dead is.
Yeah.
Which is going to be different than, like, the Midwest.
Or England.
Or
something.
England, or Europe.
Japan, whatever.
Asia. Yeah, Russia. There's so much potential there, but they can continue. Already talked about the Magic set.
Yeah, nothing particularly special there.
Yeah, it's Chandra themed. Cool.
Yeah. Still a lot of Planeswalkers, even though they had a set with like 20-something Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Bunch new ones.
People were hoping they would do away with Planeswalkers. I think they just doubled down on Planeswalkers.
Yeah, I know. There's 3 Chandras.
I mean, I kind of like that they're keeping them in the different rarities now, so they can do different power levels.
Yeah.
Without it being like a garbage card.
I mean, I put together, talking about jank, I put together a Chandra tribal deck where it's just like all, like the shock and the lightning strike is the burn. And then there's a 2-mana elemental cat thing that taps for a red, but you can only use it for Chandra. So it's like a mana dork,
I saw
but
the
for
cat.
Chandra.
Yeah, I saw the cat because
then,
we got that friend that loves cats.
Yeah.
So he had one.
Yeah, and like there's like 4-mana Chandras, then the 3-mana one, and then 6-mana one that's like the big mythic one.
Yeah, someone up at the comic shop, I think he was working on Chandra EDH.
I don't know if there's enough for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I totally made a stand deck just on that, and it's like, it's janky. It's not like competitive or anything, but it's kind of fun. I've won games.
Alright, so Transformers stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of some controversy there.
It depends on who you are. Like, I've seen it both ways, legitimate and non-legitimate. So they announced a Soundwave and Blaster box set for the card game.
Right, and it has a deck for each of them. It's a 2-player starter, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And not like a 2-player starter like the starter deck was.
It's not like a toned down. It's a theme deck.
Yeah,
it's a 2-player theme deck.
Yeah, this is 2 40-card decks.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like 20. It's like $35 or something.
It's getting a retail release at some point.
Yeah, but they put exclusive art on it.
For San Diego Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
I think they said it's going to be at Gen Con and PAX Unplugged.
Yeah. It's their convention exclusive
the big
for the
gaming
year.
Conventions.
Yeah.
And San Diego, because San Diego gets everything.
Yeah, of course. You know,
people are upset, but I feel like that's the kind of exclusive you need to do.
Yeah, I like the different that they're doing different art. They're doing
because
G1 cartoon art for the exclusive, and then just like regular whatever their themed art is.
Yeah, more in line with the rest of the card game.
Yeah,
which I like. I want both.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to collect them all, because I'm getting in on it on the ground floor.
Yeah, I wonder how many they'll let us buy at Gen Con, because I almost want 2 of the exclusive.
I want at least 2 for myself, because I kind of want to play with one.
Yeah, because I want to
and I want to keep one sealed.
Yeah.
Because I actually want to go back when I get some more paychecks under me, get the comic shop to order me a booster box, and I'm never going to open it for each wave.
Yeah, because we get on the ground level this.
Try to get my hands on the starters, the Metroplex, and just leave them sealed.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be fun to do.
Me too, yeah. I think that's pretty cool. I'd like to have a sealed
but I wouldn't mind. Yeah.
I think the box art's just great that you want. I'd like to have one like for a shelf, and I also want to play with one. So.
Right. And if I can get more than 2, I wouldn't mind picking up some for the local people.
Yeah. I don't know how many you can get, or if it's a day thing or whatever.
They've been kind of quiet on the details, which probably should try to find out more details on that to plan out day 1.
Yeah, we'll try. I mean, some people were iffy on that. I mean, the controversy came from they're releasing a team of 3 cards, or 3 bot cards for the game that are only convention.
Right.
No other release ever, just like the 2 they did last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, with this announcement, I feel like the 2 from last year are never going to get reprinted.
No.
And their cards are never, the 2 battle cards in there, not getting reprinted.
No. Just, it's a Hasbro thing. The card game designers didn't have a lot of input on it.
They're not too happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not...
I can understand that, because on one hand, it kind of hurts the game.
Yeah, I mean, I know that their biggest gripe was that it can't get an international release.
Right.
Like, whatever logistics they fell into or whatever problems they had internally at Hasbro, like, these convention exclusives are not going to be available in Europe or Australia or even Canada, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, like, only Americans can get them. And
I mean, they kind of did that with the Chinese New Year Bumblebee.
Yeah.
It was only in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, but people don't care about that as much as they care about
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one.
Yeah, they're expensive though.
Also, at the same time, I was thinking about it, I probably should have tried to got 2 of the Loot Crate dude so I could have one sealed.
Yeah,
But that's hindsight.
I don't know. I saw some people going. A guy made a post and he said this is so bad, even though. To be fair, just like the bots from last year, these aren't like the best bots they ever made. They obviously made a conscious, and they're even less powerful this year.
Okay, I was gonna say the last year's pair were kind of powerful.
Like they made a conscious decision this year. I looked and go, okay, these are 3 bots that are played as a team. They can't be played without each other. You can't play any star cards, and they don't have any battle cards for them or anything. Like
Yeah,
it's just
this is better than last year.
purely aesthetic thing.
Right.
And they're not even big, well-known characters.
Right.
So they're omnibots. They're not that well-known. They're not even on the fringe of well-known. I mean, they're nothing.
Yeah. I don't like exclusives like that, but life goes on.
That way.
But they're not like super uber powerful like last year's ones were.
No. And if one of them, yeah. I mean, I get why people are mad. And so then some people were going, oh, it's fine. Because I know a guy who paid 150, I think, like, paid his buddy like $150 to get him for him at Comic-Con.
Wow.
And the guy's like, this is total BS. I shouldn't have had to pay this much. And
what kind of buddy did you have that's charging you that much?
Or whatever it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, but still.
And, like, I saw some people, like, coming to the other side where they're like, dude, stuff is only worth what you pay for it. If people pay 150, it'll be worth 150. If everyone got up and said, we're not paying 150, then it wouldn't be worth 150.
Right.
So, stuff on that end, that's purely, again, value is only assigned by what you'll pay for something. So, but I understand why people are upset that they can't get the cards.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Like I said, I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be at a convention.
I said we're just happy. We're lucky enough that we might actually get them legitimately and at a fair
and
price.
Not paid markup. And if we get extras, we're not going to mark them up.
No, I'm not marking them up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, pay me back what I paid for it. Cool, we're happy.
This actually pertains more to you than me, but I saw it and thought I'd put it down that Attack on Titan's going to be done.
Yeah, that's all I heard you put that. I hadn't heard that. But
I
to
had
be
not
fair,
heard it until I found it. But
I haven't watched season 2 yet, so that's how far behind I am.
I don't know.
But I watched season 1 like 4 times.
Yeah,
Subtitled.
I never really
which
got
actually
into it.
says a lot. I watched it like 3 or 4 times subtitled because I hate subtitles.
Yeah, I don't watch very much stuff with subtitles, but I was never a huge fan. But it's cool that they were like ending it. Not cool that it's like gonna be done for people that like it, but I respect them for going.
Yeah,
this is how much this is how much we can think of, guys. Like
this is a whole story.
Season 4 is enough. We don't need to be doing this for 20
Here's
years.
Start, middle, end.
Yeah.
Because season 2 is actually should have been just all once. Season 2 and 3 should have been one season.
Gotcha.
But they were like, we need to put something out to keep the hype going.
Gotcha. Yeah, I hadn't even heard much about season 3. So, but yeah, the next season they produce, technically season 4, will be their finale.
Unless they stretch it, but the manga may be done.
Yeah.
Because they've been like, that's why there was such a big gap between season 1 and 2 is the manga hadn't covered it. And they're like, well, we don't want to get ahead and have like a Full Metal Alchemist situation.
Yeah.
Where they're making up stuff.
It was just starkly different because Attack on Titan is so wildly popular, and they're like, we're just going to end with 4. And like the very same day, I saw like a trailer, and it was like, celebrate the 20th anniversary of One Piece. And I was like, gosh.
Yeah.
Like 20 years.
Yeah, if it's
the same show.
I mean, if it's a good, cohesive story from start to end on it, I'm fine with 4 seasons.
No problem, yeah.
Yeah, tell the story you want to tell. Don't stretch it out, because that's where you get the problems.
And I don't mean that as a knock on One Piece or anything. I know a lot of people like it. But it's like, man, 20 years, same characters.
You can't stretch it. Dragon Ball's kind of there.
They got a lot of characters,
but they
though.
took a break, though.
Yeah, they took a break, and they do have a lot more characters to me.
And they actually,
like as far as I know,
like even with Super, it's like, okay, we're done telling stories for now.
Yeah,
we're going back to the drawing board.
They have no problem taking breaks.
Disney Mulan live action trailer dropped this weekend.
Yeah, we watched it.
And it looks good.
Yeah, it looks fine.
I mean, it looks true to the animated.
Yeah.
They actually cast the right kind of people for it.
Yes, it looks very Asian.
Yeah.
I didn't see any white people.
I was sad to not see Eddie Murphy there.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was like...
Where's the dragon?
Are they going to put this dragon in this movie? Because
they had to.
This trailer doesn't look like he can hold a dragon. It looks like a just straight boring war movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one when it gets to the Disney service, I'll watch it. Because I actually kind of like the animated one.
Yeah.
But it was like at the end of my lifespan of Disney animated movies.
I think they've gone too much too quick on the live-action Disney movies.
They're spamming that live-action button too much.
Yeah, I feel like I see a new one like every 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, they used to do one like every 2 years.
Like, once a year even is fine.
But, man, just this year we've had...
I kind of blame Marvel.
Yeah, me too. Just this year they've done like... Well, did Dumbo come out last year?
I think it was last year.
But even in a year's
But
time...
they had Aladdin this year, Lion King this year. I mean,
Mulan.
Mulan's next year.
It's
Early
in
next
January,
year. Yeah. They say 20... I think it was spring 2020, so it's like March.
Yeah.
Or April.
Yeah, and they just did Dumbo recently, and they're doing another Maleficent movie, or just did another Maleficent
I think
movie.
it's coming.
Yeah.
Because I saw the trailer for it. Or read there was a trailer for it. I don't think I actually watched it. I think I scrolled past it.
Yeah, and then the Aladdin movie was the bigger one. But
yeah,
it's just a lot.
I want to see the Aladdin one.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's like 5 or whatever. 5 in a year of being worked on and seeing trailers for.
Like I said, I blame Marvel for that. Because Disney's
and
like, hey,
Lion
we
King.
can do that.
Lion King's like about to come out this month.
Yeah.
God, I think Aladdin's like still showing. They're about to drop Lion King.
Right.
It's like, gosh.
Crazy. Which I want to see Lion King, but I'm not going to
That one's one of the ones like Jungle Book where I'm like, is it live action?
Yeah.
Do I need to watch it?
I think they took like 2 days of flying a drone over Africa and like, okay, cool, we got all of our shots.
I know.
Let's go to CGI.
Jesus. My problem, I mean, I'll probably watch it if it comes on the streaming service. I don't want to go see the theater.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, man, I'm having a hard time distinguishing some of the lions from others because they all try to make them look so real.
Right.
It's like, lions don't look that much different from each other. Like, the cartoon scarred lion and the cartoon lions, like, look unique.
If I remember correctly, they got scarred looking
a little bit different, yeah.
They're trying.
Yeah, I think Timon and Pumbaa will be good.
Yeah, I saw a trailer with them, and it looks like they'll be pretty good.
I think it'd be worth watching. It was just kind of funny because it's like, can we call this live action? Are there any like at least the Jungle Book had at least one character, like one actor in it.
Right.
Yeah, and like Mulan, when I saw it, I was like, well, this is legit.
Yeah, that's like all live action. There's probably like CGI for like filling out the horde.
Yeah.
The troops and stuff, but and now the main feature of the episode.
Yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. Still kind of like this name.
Yeah, it's fitting for the movie.
Yeah, we even saw in the credits like they went through a lot of trouble to shoot.
Man.
They shot in.
Let's see, there was London, Venice,
Spain,
Czech Republic, L.A. of course, New York,
Ontario.
Ontario.
Yeah,
They didn't see Atlanta.
No,
surprised me.
No Atlanta.
That actually was a surprise.
Yeah, but they shot across Europe. They shot across Europe. Did the reshoots in LA.
Yeah, it seemed
did a lot of I'm guessing like all the school stuff in Ontario.
Yeah, they probably like for the various spots in Europe is probably like establishing shots. Yeah. Maybe like a couple of the outdoor scenes.
Yeah, I'm sure most of the outdoor scenes they did.
Actually, I was gonna say the stuff in London, they probably did most of it in London. Because there are 2 spots, they could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
For a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just the stuff, like you can see in the trailer when they go to Venice, I'm sure they just, like, shot the actors, like, walking across one of those docks.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, okay, we didn't want to, like, make a set of all this water when we can just do this. So
it depends on how much tax credits they got from those places.
Yeah. I mean, I know that I saw in the credits they got something rebated back for
just
the Czech Republic.
I think I saw Venice in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just standard practice nowadays.
Yeah, but it is very international. They tried to go everywhere. It's not like a lot of international actors, but all the teams were international. Like,
yeah.
When we got to the Czech Republic team, like every single name was foreign. They didn't use anybody. It was a total international team. And a lot of stuff, and I'm sure it was a monster to edit because of all the different teams.
Yeah, it probably was. And with all those teams, probably why we saw so many spoilers on it.
All the different pictures that leaked, all the costume spoilers and stuff.
Just way too many people to keep it secret.
Yeah, too many people from too many different camps. But the movie was actually really good. I mean, I heard it was good, but it was really good.
Yeah, we went and saw it today before we recorded.
Yeah, as far as
enjoyed it. It started, and then it's like, oh, okay, ending.
Yeah,
never thought about, because sometimes around in the movies, like part of the way through, it's like, man, I need to go to the bathroom, but I don't want to leave the movie. This time it's like, nope, just movie.
Yeah, even when I don't care if they're long. Like Endgame, I didn't care it was a little long, but man, it was long. Like,
yeah,
when I watched it, I was like, this thing's long.
Yeah.
I don't know what the runtime is on Spider-Man, but it didn't feel like it was super long. I bet it was like 2 hours all in all, like all together. I bet it was no more than like 130 minutes.
2 hours and 9 minutes.
So 129 minutes. I was totally right. I've watched way too many movies, ladies and gentlemen.
Clearly.
I was like, it's no more than 130 minutes. Fun time, 129 minutes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
No, it's really good.
More good Spider goodness.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's him. He's the youngest guy. Going to be the youngest guy in the movie. All the characters here to interact with are older and more experienced. Still a lot of good, like teen awkwardness and angst.
Right. Which dude's like 20-something years old, but he pulls off
super
being a teenager.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I know it's awkward when I do this thing when I watch stuff like that where I look away.
Right.
So like when it gets like really cringy, I just don't even want to watch it. So if you can achieve that level of true cringe where I'm like, I don't even want to look at this. And there were like 2 or 3 like of the scenes with the girl or with the friend where I just look down like, okay, this is time for me to adjust my glasses. I was
gonna say I loved the Ned arc.
Yeah,
in the movie. That was so good.
He's so
I just loved the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's real good.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. Like, it's funny throughout.
Good action scenes.
I wouldn't say they're bad or anything. I would say that they're more than like how
they're not the greatest.
No. More than how good they are, they're like really intricate.
Right.
Like there's a couple where he just does like 3 or 4 things at the same time with webs, and of course it's all just CGI, and it's like just whoever laid it out had a really good vision of like what Spider-Man can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the thing, like he'll be jumping down but pulling something up, and then stuff will be flying at him, and he'll be moving, like swinging stuff. You know, like things will be going in 3 or 4 different directions, and but you can still follow it.
Right.
So it's not action in the same way of like
I mean the action
Daredevil
fits.
or Batman or something, but it's very intricate and
right. I mean the action fits for the character.
Yeah, definitely well thought out and wild. Absolutely wild. They have some huge scenes, like way bigger than
it's kind of crazy.
Way bigger than Homecoming.
I mean, to be fair, it is kind of the movie ending Phase 3.
Yeah, I liked.
Which I really haven't heard anything about Phase 4.
Not from what we didn't figure out from this movie, no.
Right. Which I guess Comic-Con's this weekend?
Yes.
So we'll have
something.
A crap ton of news about stuff coming.
I guess they have to do it at Comic-Con this year. Usually they've been trying not to. They've been doing it at D23, but I'm pretty sure that's in I think that's in like March. I guess they don't want to wait till next March.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them for it.
I never know when D23 is, but
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It is in March. It's always it's the second week of March.
I mean, they're gonna have to tease something at San Diego this year. There's no avoiding it.
I mean, they have panels for sure. They have panels. I know they're doing a thing for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know they're doing a thing for the video game.
Yeah, but anyway.
So they've got time. But as far as like I said, I mean, the movie to me was good without getting the spoilers first. Like, I thought it went by really fast. Good action. I don't know how, like, the story's good.
Yeah, I love the story.
It's not to me as like emotionally gripping or like heartwarming as the first one or some of the other more recent MCU movies.
It doesn't have to be though.
But like it made sense. There's still like the teen awkwardness and like sort of like they do like a sort of thing you would expect from Spider-Man, like in his sappy romance stuff, and then they use like the Ned for like completely comical romance stuff.
Right. I mean, Tony Stark was still important despite.
Yeah, he's all
what
over
happened
the movie.
in Endgame.
The in-game influence is heavy.
Right.
Like super, super heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it starts off pretty much with two teenagers talking about the snap.
Yeah, the whole
about
movie.
5
Yeah,
years.
it's mentioned the whole movie. It's actually mentioned so much in the movie. That was my fear. Was like this movie. I don't know how much in-game influence it have because it was filming like some of the same time and like some
Right.
of the post-production. And we had seen all those leaks of costumes and stuff, but we hadn't heard any like leaks of the
Story.
yeah. So it's like I don't know how much it'll actually have to do with in-game. And it's like the movie only takes place because of in-game, like one of those.
Right.
And I'm like, I am impressed by how many NDAs they probably had to draw up.
God.
They probably had to drop 1,000 NDAs to try to get people not to spoil in-game while this thing was filming and being produced.
I can't think of much more to say about it without getting into like heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
So-
As far as a score,
I was gonna say, so we're gonna try something new to do the score before we get into spoilers, which I'll give a good 8.5.
I would give it.
Because I was watching the credits, like, man, what do I rate this movie? I was thinking of
Probably-
conditions, but it's like,
I would give it like. I'll get into this in spoilers. I would like when I was watching it before the after credit scenes. I would give it like a 7.5. And like after the after credit scenes, like fully watched all 129 minutes, I was like, yeah, this is probably an 8.
yeah.
Like
which
I don't want to
know
watch it. I don't
why.
want to watch it 100 more times.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
I'm gonna want to watch it again when it gets to streaming, or
Yeah.
I get it on Blu-ray, but
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know
wanna-
how many more times I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's not like a classic. It's not classic like Guardian, the first Guardians, or like
Yeah, it's not something I'm gonna watch 500 times.
yeah. But I think it's
But it's
good.
one of those, if it's on, I'll probably sit down and watch it happily.
Yeah, I definitely watch it. We'll watch it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So, I guess now we'll get into the spoilers.
Yes.
Which, if you don't want to hear any,
you can just turn
just-
the episode off. We'll
yep.
see you next week.
yeah, you know all of our ending stuff at this point if you listen this much.
Yeah.
I kind of like the way it started, honestly.
I
with
did
Fury
too.
and Hill rolling up on a devastated town, and they meet Mysterio.
Yeah. I thought it was a little cheeky, but I super loved the second intro, the high school news.
Right.
They're doing a high school, like the high school news, which is like so campy and bad. And they're talking about they give it the blip.
Yeah,
everyone erasing. I was
that's what
like,
the snap was.
God, it's the dumbest name. I know they can't call it the snap, but the blip it is horrible.
Yeah. Which I even showed some, like, someone filming when it happened and everyone was turning to dust.
When I saw that, I was like, that's a cool scene, but did they mean that was on the high school news thing? Because that's dark. Like,
Yeah.
Why would you show the
I
mask?
think that was.
I know. It's like,
And then
dark.
they showed the 5 years when it all got reversed.
Yeah. I liked it because they were using like out of focus pictures of the heroes.
Right.
Like it was the they were showing like memorial. They were doing like a
Yeah,
high
they
school
did a
memorial
memorial
video,
for, like,
but it was like
Tony.
an out of focus blurry picture of Vision, and it was like a picture of Black Widow at the UN. And it
Yeah.
was like the Tony promotional pictures from the first Iron Man movie.
Right,
When he was
and
in,
it's
like
like a
Rolling Stone.
And it was like a
magazine.
promotional picture of Captain America.
Yeah, it was like
It was like some kid, like, Google
yeah, exactly. It was
Iron
great.
Man.
The Black Widow one to me was the funniest because it's like her in a business suit at the
Right.
UN, like looking at notes. Like it's not she like never did publicity, right? Like
Yeah.
she doesn't have any shots.
Which I guess like does kind of answer a question from the Endgame. Did they really talk about who died in it?
Yeah,
Which clearly they did.
I thought it was
And I like the one kid that just cusses and he's like, it doesn't
stay
matter.
at school. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
I liked that they went through the trouble of explaining that if you were killed by the snap and you got brought back in Endgame, you were the same age.
Right.
Like everyone else still aged 5
Yeah, it's
years.
like time froze for them.
Yeah, but you came back the same age 5 years later, which, in a way, I want to say they didn't do enough. Like, it was one of those things where, like, that's a really, really, really high-level concept.
Yeah.
And, like, you could make 10 movies on that premise, like, in that world. That have nothing to do with superheroes.
Right. And they just kind of blew it off,
They
really.
kind of just blow past it, but they kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, they made it a joke because one of the news kids was like, yeah, my little brother's older than me now.
Yeah, exactly. When he said that, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? The brother that I have in real life that's closest to me is, like, 4.5 years younger than me. Is It's like 54 months younger than me.
Yeah.
So if 60 months had gone by, he would be older than me.
I was gonna say, like, I'm the youngest in my family, but if my sister, if it happened, I'd survived and she'd snapped away, I would have been older when she came back.
Yeah.
I would almost been my older brother's age.
Yeah, I like that they definitely made a conscious choice of, like, we don't want to make a dark movie when they totally could have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I liked the bit where everyone came back, and because when they dusted, the marching band was doing some performance.
I like that they came back in the exact same spot.
Yeah, they came back in the same spot doing the same thing, and there was a basketball game going on.
You gotta think some people died when they came back.
Yeah, I actually liked it because, like, shortly after that, Aunt May was talking about when she reappeared, she was in her apartment, but it was someone else
bought it. Yeah, they thought she was a ghost.
A ghost or his mistress, the guy that lived there.
You gotta think, like, people that work on construction crews, like, come back, like...
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
It's like the building's complete where you were standing inside a concrete pillar.
Or the opposite, where it's guys...
they were on, like, the scaffolding.
Or that, or, like, I just meant, like, a condemned building, and they come back and there's no building.
Right.
And they just fall force twice.
Yeah.
It's flat. Or whatever. Like, it was... Like I said, it's such a high-level concept.
Yeah, they could do it. Hell, they could even do a series on Disney for it.
Yeah, and they just made a conscious effort to go, look, this is still a bright movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's a bright character. They pretty much just said every character from Homecoming was in the snap. Like, we don't want to deal with the emotional trauma of one of those characters.
I think there was one kid that wasn't.
Yeah,
because he was like some little kid, dorky, no one liked him. Now he's like the hot guy in school.
But I mean, it wasn't like.
But he wasn't in Homecoming, so.
Yeah. I just mean, like, they could have made a movie where it was like if.
Like Ned could have been 5 years older.
Or like
Peter.
just like Aunt May. Like what if Aunt May lived the 5 years and everybody comes back and, like, he's supposed to go, like, maybe she would want to go, like, don't be Spider-Man anymore because I lost you for 5 years.
Right.
Or he goes off to Europe and she doesn't want him to go or whatever. Like, there was a different movie that could have been told.
Right.
And they just chose to do it this way, but they chose to do it blanketly. Where
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Because you still had the same supporting cast. Which actually, one of the supporting cast did live through the snap. Happy.
Yeah. And
because he had the blip beard.
Yeah.
As he called it.
Blip beard. Yeah, I like the snap. I like the way
they handled it good.
So there's lots more they can do with that in the future. Yeah. My favorite part about that is the thing they do with Nick Fury later. Well, not even that much later. Like, the whole thing is he's Spider-Man and Nick Fury's trying to call him.
Right.
And, like, he goes to Europe for his school trip and Nick Fury's, like, there just waiting on him.
He called Happy and to tell Peter to answer his phone that he was going to be calling. Peter's like, nah, Nick Fury's not going to call. Unknown number. It's like, that's Fury. You transfer it. Voicemail.
Yeah.
It's like, did you just send Fury to voicemail? It's like, I got something to go do, and runs off.
Yeah. No, I just like that thing when he finally meets Fury, he's like, what do you want from me? And Fury's like, I used to know everything. And then, like, 5 years went by. And it's like, if you're in the intelligence, business or whatever, it's like 5 years, I know nothing. I don't know anything. 5 years of tech went by, 5 years of international events went by. I know squat. Like, everybody.
That was interesting.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting way to put it, because
I like the Ned part where Fury came in, and the next day he's like, I got tranked by Nick Fury. It's so awesome.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's a Spider-Man movie, so they can't go into it, but they brought up a lot of questions I hope they actually have the chance to answer someday about the people that were blipped.
Oh, yeah.
Like Black Panther. Like, not all of the Wakandans, I'm guessing, were blipped, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what happened to his country for 5 years?
I think that's going to probably be a theme for a lot of those movies.
Yeah.
In Phase 4.
Yeah.
It just has to be.
It's got to be. And even in those 5 years, a lot of those guys, I mean, there were still Avengers, but, like, there was no Tony, and Tony was the guy that was, like, watching everybody.
Right.
So it's probably a lot of stuff that fell through the cracks. Like Jake Gyllenhaal's character, actually.
Yeah.
Mysterio is the character that's introduced in the movie as a hero fighting elementals that have come to Earth. Or were already on Earth.
Yeah. He's from a multiverse where his world got destroyed by them. Which actually is a point that I did not like about the movie. It was that they called the cinematic universe 616.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Yeah, that's a comic book universe. call it what it actually is. Use that actual number, whatever it is. It's like 10 something something something. It's like a 5-digit number, or come up with a new number.
Yeah. It was.
But
cute,
that's like nitpicking.
Well, I mean, it was BS.
Right. Well, yeah, it ended up in the end being BS.
Yeah, like Gyllenhaal's great in this movie. I should have said that before the spoiler thing. Gyllenhaal's great. Everybody's great, but Gyllenhaal's like super great, and Samuel L. Jackson's great. Yeah. And actually, Zendaya, the girl MJ, even though she's like a singer or whatever, she was super good. I'm trying to
decide if I like the movie universe version of MJ.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean it's different than any other MJ
I like the
I've
character
seen.
fine.
Yeah,
I liked a lot of her lines.
I mean she's a good character.
The guys that wrote the movie are cool. She's like, there were parts of her. I wish that they went like 100% with her. Where like all of her lines are like, "This is my favorite flower because
she's like dark."
She's like supposed to be dark, yeah, but like she wears like a flower dress and she still gets scared of stuff. And
yeah,
she's like a poser, but she's supposed to be like a protagonist. I'm like, wish they'd like went one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that it was Mysterio in the movie and when they were fighting the elementals, I was like, okay, how's he doing this?
I thought for a second.
But, I mean, being a fan of the comics and
I mean, I
knew what it was.
I always knew he was going to be a bad guy because like, Mysterio is a bad guy and he's an illusionist anyway. I thought for a second though, like when he was explaining the 616 stuff, I thought like
maybe
what if he just like is a hero? Well, I mean, the thing was like I knew he had to be the bad guy because like they didn't cast a bad guy. Right. You know what I mean, like if there were like two big names attached to the movie, I could see it, and then the tone would actually be even better, right? Yeah. But it's like the two big names were Samuel L. Jackson, it's like we already know him. Like, yeah. So it's like, but what if like Jake Gyllenhaal is a hero, like from another universe, and Jake Gyllenhaal's also playing the villain, like a different guy? That would have been cool. Like that would have been cool. I thought that maybe they could have gone that way, like towards the end.
I mean, I like his motivation in it because he's actually trying to become the world's greatest hero.
He's trying to overshadow Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like the idea is that him and all the people that are helping him create these illusions are people that were disenfranchised by Stark over the years,
or Stark Industries at least.
Yeah.
Because one of those guys, it was Stain, but
but he was browbeating them for not being Stark,
right?
Like for not being as good, and then Stark like crapped on some of them, and then whatever, they got fired or whatever from Stark Industries. So it's like all these really smart people that had no chance when Stark was alive. That once Stark died, they're like, well, nobody's stopping us.
Yeah, I mean, the whole premise of the movie is who's the next Iron Man, which everyone thinks was going to be Spider-Man, like all the main characters, Nick Fury and them.
He gets, so Tony leaves Peter his, whatever you call them, hipster glasses that have the AI in them, and he ends up giving them to Jake Gyllenhaal because Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio.
That was his goal at first.
Yeah, tricks him.
Yeah, that was his initial goal, was to get those glasses.
I do find it hilarious that this is when I knew it was total BS, when they went to go get a drink.
Right.
And they're in this bar, and Mysterio's still wearing his Mysterio outfit.
Right.
I knew as soon as I saw this, like...
Well, I mean, to be fair, Peter was still wearing...
But, like, his is, like, just black clothes. Right. But it was like, he's still wearing... Jake Gyllenhaal's still wearing the Mysterio armor. Like, he took the cape off, but he's wearing the armor, and I'm like... This is BS. This bar's dumb. This bar's not real. Right. Like, the extras aren't looking at them or anything. I was like, this bar's not real. He's about to get screwed.
Yeah. But I did like it. I mean, I do like it. The first half of the movie was setting up his major plot.
Yeah.
Which was... like we said, he was trying to be the next Iron Man.
Yeah.
So he was trying to create the appearance of a Avengers level threat
with drones and illusions and holograms.
Yeah, his goal was to take it out single handedly because then suddenly he's the greatest hero in the world.
Yeah. But he had to actually kill people. Like he was going to actually kill civilians.
Yeah, I mean he was a villain. Yeah. I mean he did villainous things. Yeah. But he was just going to be the hero that stopped himself.
Yeah. I like that his initial thing was like, I'm just going to kill Nick Fury because he can figure it out, but like everybody else can live. Like I'll just live the character.
Yeah, he was gonna kill Fury. He was gonna kill Hill. I think she was gonna be on. Those two were gonna be the two for sure dying.
Yeah, and then it's like Spider-Man just messes with him, so he's like, well,
crap. Spider-Man figures it out. It's like, okay, well, now I gotta kill Peter Parker.
And he tells his friends, like, have to help Spider-Man, so he's like, now I gotta kill Spider-Man's friends.
Yeah.
And then he, obviously, he's gonna lose in the end. I didn't love the action in the first half where he's, like, just fighting elementals and stuff.
Right.
But I thought all the illusion scenes on the back half of the movie
yeah.
were awesome.
When it actually became Mysterio versus Spider-Man, that's
Yeah,
where it really kicked
Yeah, the
off.
straight Mysterio versus Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like running through infinite illusions, up and down.
Like the illusions are changing his costumes, going through the various ones he had in the movies.
Yeah, I thought that stuff was awesome. I thought that was like some Doctor Strange level stuff.
Right.
They explained like why there were no Avengers in the movie.
Yeah, because that kind of went through all the big names, and it's like Off-World, couldn't get a hold of them.
Yeah.
This is going to be spoiling one of the end-credit scenes, but it's like Captain Marvel, and Nick Fury's like, don't mention that name.
Yeah, don't invoke her name.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah, it's such a weird line.
Yeah, but yeah, that kind of explained it all like that. And I mean, it's one of those, it's like, even in the comics, it's like, why is Spider-Man not calling Iron Man to help? It's like, you gotta have that suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, I mean, I it didn't bother me in this movie, really.
Yeah, and they actually did come up with a good explanation for it.
And really most of the MCU movies, I think, are totally fine with it.
Right.
Like, to me, it's like, if it's your own personal villain, most people really do want to deal with it. Like in the first one, the Vulture, it's like, dude,
right?
Like, why would he involve anybody else willingly? And it's not. And Vulture was like a thief. It wasn't like he was blowing up cities.
Right.
So it's like, why would anyone else get involved? This one, it's like
it's a little bigger, but
it's explained in the end.
Right.
But Spider-Man goes, beats Gyllenhaal in the big fight. There's some confusion over if Mysterio died or not.
Yeah, I mean, in the movie, the AI says he's dead, but there's no illusions.
Well, he just says there's no illusions. He doesn't say he's dead.
Well, no, it does say he's dead. But then the end credit scenes contradicts that, kind of. So, but that may just been some part of his team did that.
Well, the guy, his right-hand man, gets the USB of all the downloads. So right. He downloads all the files. So I guess he just cut all that stuff together himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That could simply be that.
To me, it's like, I think Mysterio is like dead until they don't want him to be.
Right.
I don't want him to be, though. I really did like him in the movie.
I loved the Ned arc, like I said. They were on the plane going to Europe, and Peter and Ned were trying to get where Peter would be sitting next to MJ on the plane so he could put his moves on her.
Yeah.
Because that was like Peter's goal in the movie, was to get her as his girlfriend.
Yeah, his whole thing is he just wants to, like... It's super teenager.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I need to talk to MJ, like, but I have to be, like, alone. I have to just plan.
And
he
Derek
sees her, like...
couldn't be with her.
He sees her, like, a dozen times in the movie, and, like, they just look at each other and don't talk, or he just walks away from her, and he's like, it has to be a romantic thing. I was like, you can just walk up to her and talk to her like a human. What are you doing?
I like the Ned arc, because it starts with them on the plane. Ned's like, oh, hey, do you mind swapping seats? Walking up to Beck. What was the blonde's name?
I think it's Betty.
Betty. Walks up to Betty, and MJ's like, hey, can we swap seats? Some convoluted thing is like, Peter has an allergy to the woman's perfume in front of us.
I do want to mention Martin Starr. He played the white teacher.
Uh-huh.
I know you never watched Silicon Valley.
Okay.
But he's a main cast member in Silicon Valley, and he's great in that show. Like, he's so comedic.
I enjoyed him in the movie.
It was just like when I was watching, I was like, I need to mention he's so good. I hope that he has more than just like a couple of scenes, and he's like all over the movie. So I'm very happy for him.
But he pops, the aforementioned teacher pops out, it's like, oh no, we can't have this, and he changes up, or MJ sits next to the romantic rival for her affection. I forget that character's name.
I
want to say it was Derek, but that doesn't sound right.
I don't remember.
But anyways, they ended up sitting next to each other, and he's pretty much pulling the same moves that Peter's going to be pulling on her. But Ned and Betty end up sitting next to each other, and during the flight, they miraculously hit it off, and they become a couple. And like the whole movie, they're a couple, doing like the sickening romantic things, like I miss you on the text when they're sitting right next to each other. It was quite hilarious.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the movie, when they get back to America, Peter's finally hooked up with MJ, and they're like, oh, hey, maybe we could double date. And Ned's like, oh, no, we broke up. You know, as a man and a woman, we just grow apart. That's just part of life.
Hey, Ned is actually really funny in this movie. He was funny in the last one. He was funny again in this one. The stuff with the girl was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, because what really made it real funny is because Ned was like, oh, hey, we need to just be two American bachelors in Europe. We don't need a cup relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like pulled up an article about Mysterio, and it looks like it's the same thing we said. Like he appeared dead, but he might not be dead.
Yeah.
And someone said that they are still Sony's like goal for years has been to do a Sinister Six movie. So it's like if they're gonna
We'll
finally
see
get
what
around
happens.
to it,
Yeah.
they should probably keep Jake around
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
because they didn't kill Vulture or Scorpion.
Right.
So this would be Mysterio.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Whatever. There.
But end credit scenes.
They were great. I heard
Yeah.
they were great, and I was like, what could they possibly do? This movie was like complete, done.
Yeah.
MJ finds out Spider-Man is...
Well, the first one was
Parker.
the scrolls. Well, yeah, that happened in the movie.
Yeah,
MJ
that's a
was
big thing we didn't mention.
Yeah, it's like MJ and Peter get alone, and she's like, "You're Spider-Man. That's what you're gonna tell me." He's like, "No." And then the scene that reveals Mysterio as a villain falls out of her bag,
And he's like, "Screw it, I'm Spider-Man. I gotta go. We got stuff to do."
He's like, "I ain't got time to play around. We gotta go. I'm Spider-Man. Let's go."
Yeah.
So that was an important part of the movie.
And they tell each other they care for each other and kiss and whatnot.
All that kind of stuff.
So the mid credit is like their first like date. He's gonna swing her around, which was kind of a cool scene.
Well, that's like I guess that is the first mid credit.
Yeah.
But it's also, no, that was like post credits actually. Yeah.
No, the Spider-Man one with MJ is the first one.
Well, yeah, it's him swinging through, and she's like, "No, we're never doing that again."
And then it comes on.
And then some credits roll, and then it's Nick and Hill in a car driving.
You're missing what the whole point of that mid-credit scene is.
That was after the credits, dude. The big reveal of...
No, the big reveal of Jake Gyllenhaal coming back on the Times Square board.
That was post-credits, man.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
The Nick Fury thing is post-credits.
No, that was in mid-credits, man. But anyway, so to finish the Spider-Man one...
He gets done swinging her, and up on the screen in New York, there's a new video of Mysterio, like, as he's about to die, and he tells them, like, how he's such a good person and the best hero, and that Spider-Man killed him and was a bad guy, and Spider-Man was going to use the Stark technology to, I don't know, be a villain. And then he tells everyone that Spider-Man's Peter Parker.
Yeah, and J. Jonah Jameson pops up.
As J.K. Simmons, the guy who played him in the Tobey Maguire
Okay,
series.
That's why I was like, I recognize that guy, but couldn't think of where I saw him.
Yeah, they did the fan service by recasting him back as J. Jonah Jameson again.
But yeah, they introduced him.
And he's fully against Spider-Man. Mysterio's the best hero ever. Spider-Man's a menace. And then like I said, then it shows that he tells everybody that Spider-Man's Peter Parker, and then it fakes out, and we go to the last after credit scene.
Yeah, which is Fury and Hill driving, and then they just turn into the Skrulls
from Captain Marvel. I thought
they're briefing Fury on what happened.
Yeah, I thought for like half a second when one of them turned into a Skrull, I was like, "Are you serious? Are they really going to do the Secret Invasion thing?" But it's not. They were just being placeholders while Fury was
doing something whatever.
Off-world. Nick Fury's with the Avengers out in space. They used that as the explanation why the Avengers couldn't help. I still love that guy. I'm so glad they brought him back. I hope he's in more movies. That Skrull from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be around.
He's so cool, man. I love this little thing. He's like, "We gotta call Fury." The girl's like, "We gotta call Fury." He's like, "I don't wanna." He like FaceTimes him, and he's like, "Well,
right.
We did the thing. We gave the glasses to Peter Parker. I was being a good Fury, and then like things like got a little out of hand. Went off the rails. Now we're gonna need you to come back because it's been like 2 weeks and we ruined it."
Yeah.
And then Nick is off in space on a big giant spaceship.
Yeah, a hologram in front of Tahiti.
Yeah. But there were other Skrulls on the ship and like big giant ship with like other ships in it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
It may have been a planet.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but that's presumably where the big Avengers are, I guess, when Phase 4 starts.
Well, I mean, we know where half of them are, or some of them are. Because, I mean, Ford's with the Guardians.
Yeah.
Black Panther's still going to be on Wakanda.
Yeah, he's not going around helping people.
I doubt War Machine's anywhere. He's probably back in America. Falcon's probably still at home.
Maybe.
They're probably rebuilding.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know when that Falcon Winter Soldier show is supposed to take place.
I think it's supposed to be pre-Infinity War.
So like
I
between
think all
Civil
of those.
War and
Yeah, I think all of those shows are kind of that era.
yeah.
Maybe Infinity War to Endgame.
And then I mean Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel.
I mean, Captain Marvel's
In
off in
space.
space somewhere, probably by herself.
Yeah, I
Probably
think Hawkeye's
fighting the
retired.
Kree. Yeah, Hawkeye's retired. Trying to think of who else there is. Like I said,
Hulk.
Hulk is probably in America somewhere. Hopefully they explain why he's such a big star.
Who?
Hulk.
Oh.
Why he's so famous.
I don't know.
Ant-Man's at home. That's for sure. But I guess that's about all I got to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't want to just stretch out too much.
Yeah, I thought the movie was real good. The end credit scenes were good. Set up some plot points for Phase 4, and at least got a feel for what that might look like.
Yeah.
Since we know the blip is like a really big deal, and they actually want to push the repercussions of that.
Looking forward to more.
Yeah, almost a double episode. So, yeah, go see the Spider-Man movie if you're on the fence at all. It was really good. And if you have anything to say to us, you can email us at qf.mailbag@gmail.com. We're trying to get more interactive on the Facebook and Instagram these coming up weeks.
Which was a funny story I have is I posted something on Facebook just asking a question, and like 10 minutes after I did, I get email from Facebook. It's like, hey, you should interact more with your fans.
Yeah, so it's Questionable Fandom Podcast on Facebook, Questionable Fandom on Instagram. We do have a Patreon under Questionable Fandom, and we will be doing some new types of episodes. We know the first one's going to be an episode dedicated only to the Good Omens show that's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, well, that's going to be like a teaser episode.
Yeah, that's not.
It's going to be in the normal feed.
I just mean, yeah, it'll be up. It'll be coming up at the end of this month.
Start of August.
Yeah, the first weekend of August will be the Good Omens episode. But that's all we got this week, and we'll talk to you next week.